There's something adventurous about a road trip, even if that road trip is to Kansas. You can find yourself in some type of weird way. You can learn about yourself. You can learn about those you are traveling with. And you can definitely learn about the car you're driving. We are officially in Green River. We are stopping here at the Tesla charger in the middle of nowhere. And this guy had to go pee. So far so good. Not too bad of a drive. Nice little area. It is in the middle of nowhere, but hey, we needed this stop. So look who just woke up. Sadie. I love you, Sadie. We were on the way to Kansas. We needed to stop in Denver. It was nice and sunny. It was beautiful. And then this happened. There are only very few moments in life where you come across situations that are deadly or expensive. Thankfully, this one was expensive, although it was almost deadly. We were in the middle of this snowstorm that came out of nowhere, and we were stuck. And somehow, and I guess this is the only time I'll say this, an angel tow truck came and bailed us out. There was no way that we were going to make that storm. And there was no way that we were going to make it out alive without that tow truck. I have never felt so helpless in my life and responsible for the life of my family. Okay, so we are currently being dragged in a tow truck. And this snowstorm is like on any other I've ever been in my life. And I've been in a few snowstorms. I live in Utah. I have driven in the winter times very stupidly from Florida to Utah to Florida. I have driven semis in the winter. This is one of the worst things I've seen. Luckily, this guy came and said, hey, I'll charge you an extra fee. Not an extra fee, I'll charge you a fee if I drive you X amount of miles. And eventually I realized that that wasn't gonna get us anywhere. So I asked him to take us a further step. He wanted more money. And then I said, you know what, why don't you take us even closer and I'll pay you even more. I don't want to disclose what I paid, but it was a few $100. And the money that we didn't want to pay on the ticket, we didn't want to fly just because of all the crap that's been happening with all the freaking airlines and airplanes and helicopters. Let's just take a step back on the flying. Let's just drive over there. And we looked at the weather. It seemed that it looked great. For the most part, it was great. And even in Colorado, we got to this point in Colorado where it just began snowing and snowing nonstop. So family first, family safety first. There's no amount of dollars for that. I obviously feel responsible for putting them in this position. Another thing too, it's also our first time driving with our dog Rowley. He was our first baby. We got him when my wife and I got married. We got him about a month after our wedding, after we became husband and wife, and he was our baby, our pup, for 2 years until Sadie came along. So this is the furthest that he's ever gone anywhere, and this is what happens. So I'm just hoping that when we get to the destination, everything turns out fine. I have a feeling that things will be fine. But this is the first part of the journey to getting to Kansas. We're gonna spend a day, maybe a day and a half, depending on the weather, in Denver, and then we're gonna go to Kansas. And this is what this small tour is about: getting to Kansas, visiting family, and having some wonderful barbecue. Because guess what? Summer, people, is around the corner. We're supposed to be in spring. It's towards the third part of towards the end of April here, and we're getting so much snow. So I'm not sure where spring is, but it's sure as hell not here. So it's sure as heck not here. Today's Good Friday, by the way, so I don't wanna say help. Sorry, I shouldn't say help. Dang it, stop saying it. Today's Good Friday. So far we have seen a wonderful deed from this man. Yes, we're paying him, but hey, he could have said no. He could have said, nope, I'm gonna drop you off and go back and just make a few $1,000 today and just pick up cars and bring him here. And he didn't. He's just, you know, with a few $100, he's a Texan, and he decided to do something good for us. So I hope that our small misery right now can be somewhat pleasant for you and entertaining for you. And yeah, let's go ahead and dig into some barbecue. Summer is around the corner, and I cannot wait to start talking about barbecue and grilling, baby, because that's what this year is gonna be about, for the summer at least, you know. Peace. Okay, we got here last night. The truck driver was nice enough to leave us in Lakewood, which is an outside suburb, I guess, west of Denver. And man, we were exhausted. The trip took an extra 4 hours. Those roads were dangerous, and we made the right choice in getting in that truck, because the destination that he was originally going to take us was not in any better condition. And even after that, the roads got worse. There was no cars really passing by there. So the ice that had fallen had solidified even more. So if we couldn't even make it, you know, I want to say 30% in, there's no way that we were going to make the rest. Where he wanted to leave us was at the top of the Eisenhower tunnel. And the tunnel, if you've ever been there, it was our first time. It actually has a huge steep. Well, it was 23 degrees outside, so any little ice, snow, whatever that had, you know, passed through that tunnel had melted, and it was also solidified. And it was a scary, steep tunnel. And I'm so grateful for that guy. It was expensive, you know, a whole lot less than tickets for a family of 3. We're here in Denver. We wanted to get some, maybe go to some nice restaurants here, but that just wasn't the case. It was also snowing here. The roads were not iced, but it was snowing. By the way, Denver, thank you for welcoming us with your beautiful roads here. They are just smooth and silky. A few places open. We went to Pho 92, and that place was busy like 9 o'clock. Busy lines, people waiting to be seated, people waiting to pick up their order. It was packed, and the food was absolutely delicious. But we're so exhausted that we really didn't enjoy it as much as we can. But by far, one of the best pho, if not the best pho I've ever had in my life. Anyways, we're about to check out. We're gonna go to Wichita, Kansas, and hopefully we can have a smoother drive there. But anyways, that's the update from yesterday. We're still exhausted. Look at my beautiful eyes. I got bangs in there. Come on, need to get some rest, beauty rest. Peace. After a good night rest in Denver, we got back on the road and headed towards Kansas. We made it just in time for Easter.
Look at pink. Where? Yeah, you want to show? Okay. Show your legs, right? Okay, go for more. Where? Go over there. What about over here? Over there. Or did you check the tree? Did you check the tree by the bird? Yay!
Good job, Sadie.
Now, over there, see?
Whoa! Hi people, this is James Collins. I hope that you're liking this video. I hope that it's making you drool, and I hope that you're starving. Go ahead and like and subscribe. If you're not liking the video, subscribe anyways. Share with your friends and family, and stay starving for more. Bye! Are you kidding me right now? This is the Pizza Hut Museum. Really? This is the original, in the middle of a patch of grass. inside a college campus. This is it right here. Multi-billion-dollar company, or at least it used to be. I don't know now. That's it. That's the Pizza Hut Museum. Now I know why they call it a hut. Many unique things surprise me about the heartland of America. Lima Nation is one of them. Modern Peruvian restaurant that can easily shine in any mall, strip, or building in Miami, or in Miraflores, Lima, or anywhere in Peru. And it will be one of the better ones. There were only 2 Peruvian restaurants in Wichita. 2 more, which by the way, I was expecting. This restaurant, although out of its element, really defined Kansas and Wichita for me. Mahi Mahi ceviches with perfectly fried shrimp, and of course the famous leche de tigre. Why not? How about taco taco with lomo saltado? And I mean real lomo. For those non-native speakers, that means beef loin, the same cut of beef that you get filet mignon from. This is of course the right cut for this famous dish, often not seen due to the nature of its cost. How about some tallarines verdes con carne? Yes, all the same beef loin that we spoke about, and some huancaína sauce with some roasted potatoes. And of course we had to get the pollo a la brasa, always a shining star. Although today the star was shining, but it was a bit dim here. Although the side of fries and salad really kept the menu on course. If there was ever a first to GoFundMe in Peru, it had to be with the causa, a beautiful layered potato dish that's often made with seafood or chicken. In this case, we had a beautiful chicken salad rolled in yellow potatoes with ají amarillo, and then topped with the chicken salad and finished with some avocado aioli. Yes, this is Wichita. The evening came and we got hungry. So, of course, we went to Smalls. Smalls is a sliders company. They only make sliders. You're only going to get sliders. They were delicious, they were greasy, they were cheesy, and they were quick.
You won!
Ábrelo. I think so. Yeah, it's good. And they are they're mashed burgers. Oh, they're so soft. I can have
I've got fresh hot sliders for Jet.
I can have like 6 of these.
Tastes like In-N-Out, right?
Yeah. Okay, these are good. These are good.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
It has pickles.
All right. Some with the sauce right here. It's so soft. I thought the bread was going to be squished. I always say that food is all about perspective, but sometimes some of the food concepts that keep coming out just baffle me. I am tempted to sort of sit down, write at least 10 to 20 different ridiculous food concepts, and I swear at least half of them will probably work because they sometimes simply do. They're thinking outside of a box, or in this case, outside of a shipping container. Haha, see what I did there? The truth is that the burgers were good. The sauce were okay. They were missing some things that we wanted to get, like the shake. The burgers were decent. Is it worth a journey? Maybe not. But if you're craving a late snack, I will will say that this is the better alternative. And it seems like people here in Wichita think the same way, because this place was non-stop since we got there. Okay, I have to admit, a lot of things have happened since we got to Wichita. On the way here, it's been crazy. We've gone through a lot. We've gone through Easter, we've gone through Good Friday, we've gone through a snowstorm. Since Wichita happens to be all the way freaking east of the state, we have gone through the whole entire state of Kansas. So finally, I am getting the chance to really, just between you and I, what I've been craving this whole entire time, some freaking barbecue. My first taste of barbecue here in Wichita happens to be at BC Barbecue. Pretty much warehouse meets country, and I love this place. It was great. Is it the best barbecue I've had in my life? No. Is it the worst? Absolutely not. Was it a pretty decent experience? Absolutely. They do have a buffet here, and that's what we went with. I know what you're thinking. Stop judging. You have your sins and I have mine. Mine just tastes a little better. You can definitely order a la carte, but I have never seen an actual barbecue buffet, so we went for that. We were also told that most of the meat that we're gonna find in the buffet is also part of their a la carte menu, so we went for it. Enough talking, let's dive in. The setup is pretty simple and straightforward, and may I say, they actually keep your integrity in line. You're not piling on food in each plate. This is not a competition. You're not here to drown your sorrows away. You are here to enjoy beautiful, delicious barbecue. So they weigh your meat first. You get 2-3 pieces, and then you get 2 sides. When you get up the next time, it's less meat and less sides. And then you can repeat as many times as you want. You can choose from lean and fatty brisket, dry, St. Louis, and honey glazed ribs, pulled pork, whole chicken, sirloin and hot links, whole chicken, turkey, ham. They didn't have turkey or ham. And of course, you cannot have barbecue without any baked beans. They had 2 kinds, traditional and spicy, which was my favorite. That's super tender. That is tender. That is juicy. That is perfectly seasoned. It has the right amount of smoke, which is delightful. Sometimes you get those weird, strong, smoky flavor. That's not what you get here. Honestly, it's my first barbecue ever, real barbecue in Kansas, Wichita. This was one of the most recommended place, Yelp, Google, and just across the board. I did notice though that there's a few barbecue places that don't open on Mondays. Some don't even open on Tuesdays, and there's one that only opens on Thursday through Sunday. But I'm glad that these ones are open. I've also never seen a barbecue buffet. They have a la carte and then also a buffet. We went with the buffet. They're like, it's the same meat, and we're super happy for it. So far, great choice. First place we go to, it's a winner. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try the baked beans. There's a spicy and a non-spicy version. I, of course, got spicy. That's good stuff, people. There's a spicy version and a non-spicy version. I, of course, got the spicy one. These are freaking delicious. Holy crap. And it has a little bit of a kick. It's not too crazy. But it also balances out with the sweetness of the traditional baked beans that we're used to. Really good stuff. So So far, ribs good, baked beans good. I'm gonna go for the actual brisket next. Let's talk about the way that they have this set up here. So if you get the buffet, you really get several of the meats that they're offering: chicken, links, brisket, which I'm surprised, ribs. Yeah, so you get two different types of ribs. You get both sides of the brisket. You get two different types of chicken, and then you get several sides with the salad. So when you first go and get your first portion of the buffet, you can get two sides, and you can get up to 3/4 pounds of meat. And then they reduce it by the second time that you get up. They reduce the size. They reduce the amount of pound of meat that you get, and they also give you just one side, which makes sense. They don't want to be wasteful, and I think that's phenomenal. Now on the a la carte side, there's a full-on menu that you can get way more things. I know that I saw like one of the days I believe they have like prime rib after 5. But man, this is, when I go to barbecue places, this is what I get anyways. Mine is the link, which I'm gonna try next. So I'm kind of in barbecue heaven right now. So I was not expecting anything less of Wichita, their heartland, their barbecue capital of this nation, arguably, of course. And so far so good. Let's continue to dig in. Okay, next I'm trying their loaded potato salad. They had two different kinds. They had the regular one with like eggs and this weird yellow dye to it, and then they had this white one that pretty much has bacon, mayo, and some type of green element of sorts. I'm assuming that's probably dehydrated parsley. Let's give it a try. I think I'm tasting some sour cream in there. Sour cream mayo, maybe? Michelle got this, and she also ended up getting the mac and cheese. White mac and cheese. Here's the mac and cheese. There you go. Nice mac and cheese, which more than likely is probably bechamel with tons of cheese, which then it doesn't become bechamel anymore. It becomes another sauce. Bechamel is a mother. So those people watching, you chefs, you cooks, if you add cheese to a bechamel, what does it become? And that's what we keep putting on our mac and cheese here in America. It's not bad. I've had worse. The stuff that you people buy all the time in a box, that's definitely worse. This is about 5 levels, maybe even 8 levels above that, respectively. I have had okra fried. I have had it in gumbos. I've had it in stews. I've had it, what else? That's pretty much it. Stews, gumbos, and fried. I've never had it pickled, and I've never had it raw. I just tried some, and it's actually delicious, just like every other version I've had. Pickled okra. I have come across you many times, but this is the first time I'm having it. That's delicious. Super delicious. Nice, crunchy. The sliminess is still there, but not too much, which I like. Okay, here goes the brisket. Let's see. I am highly opinionated in brisket. It's one of the actual barbecue things that I can actually do well. Not excellent, but well. Okay. This is the dry part. I got both the fattier part and then the dry part. Mala no está. ¿Tú agarraste la parte seca o la parte suave? Esa es la parte seca. So with brisket, I know that some people either like the dry part or the other side of the cab, which is like the fattier part and juicier part. If it's done right, the drier part, if it's done right, the dry part can actually be really freaking amazing. The fat has rendered down, it has enough bark, it has enough of that smoke, and it's just fatty, juicy, and delicious. but that's usually where the fruit really falls far from the tree. Oh, bless you. Oh, talking about the fruit falling far from the tree. Sadie's not one of those. But that's sort of like where things are sort of falling down, right? You start getting that drier part, and you don't get the best version then of the actual fattier part. So what often they do is just they separate both. But if you really do that, then you have a better chance of just getting both right, because really they are two completely different muscles within one muscle, if that makes sense. So the fattier part obviously is absolutely delicious, and if that is done right, then all that fattiness that melts just becomes absolutely wonderful. And it just melts in your mouth, has tons of flavor and great smoke. So here so far they've done it pretty well. I would have liked more smoke on the actual brisket, but I get that sometimes, especially if you're gonna have a buffet, you don't have 14 to 16 hours to smoke it. So, but so far it's not bad. Brisket is it's not really for everyone, unfortunately, but mainly because it's really hard to get brisket right. I did see that they had super thin sirloin there. I'm just not remembering. I might get that next. Fattier part of the cap, drier part of the cap. Ok, vengo por la segunda ronda. Vamos a agarrar el slot.
¿Slap?
Sí.
¿Qué más?
Un choricito. Ajá.
¿Uno nomás?
Uno nomás.
Ok, ¿qué más?
Un poquitito del pulled pork.
Here?
Ajá. Perfecto, sí. Y dos cositas de esas. Ajá. ¿Ese sirloin?
Sí, lo.
Ok, perfecto.
¿Con eso o no?
Con eso está bien. Muchas gracias.
Ok, ¿quieres pan o no? Así está bien.
No, así está bien.
Ok.
Muchas gracias. Okay, here is my second portion. So we got pulled pork, hot link, and then we got some thinly sliced smoked sirloin, and then some coleslaw. So you can go as often as you want, as long as you just get that smaller portion. But seems like the gentleman was actually offering a whole lot more, and that's fine. But I don't think I'll be able to eat more than what I've eaten so far, plus this plate. So let's go ahead and finish off with this. Let's go for the link. It has a sweet smell to it.
Ahí está pendiente ahí. Se ha comido casi todo el pan.
Oh, that's delicious. That's a nice little snap to it.
Está bien.
It has a touch of sweetness, but not overpowering. And then you get that little heat at the end.
You want to change it? Okay, quiere que le cambie. Espérame.
It's probably because I'm full already, but I don't know that I can eat more than 2 of these. But that's barbecue. There's only so much that you can eat because it's very strong in flavor. They're fattier meats, and they do the job in getting you full, right? So this is just one of those great examples. Nice, smoky, sweet, spicy, absolutely delicious. I can maybe open this up, put it on a nice little Hawaiian roll with some slaw or some sauce or maybe some melted cheese. Oh, this will be absolutely amazing. They're divine. Put this on some nice gumbo, or I'm thinking of like feijoada and how how they add their sausages to feijoada in Brazil. I'm thinking like this could maybe go really well with baked beans. The simple things in life that make life worth it. And in this case, it's this little sausage right here. And that smoked meat. Okay, pulled pork. Juicy, flavorful, juicy and flavorful. That's what they used to call me. It is missing a little bit of some seasoning, some acidic punch to it. You can taste the smoke, but I think this was maybe like just seasoned very gradually with some salt and pepper, if that. Thank you. What is your favorite thing here?
I like our chicken sandwiches.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
The smoke too?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Nice. Thank you. One of the things that I've noticed also too in Kansas barbecue, seems like they do a little bit of everything here. They're not in Carolinas. You'll have the whole hog. Texas is big on brisket, and it seems like here they're doing just about everything. Sirloins, brisket, pulled pork, the sausage, the ribs, and it's phenomenal. Apparently, burnt ends, which are now becoming popular everywhere, actually got started here in Kansas City's. I'm in Wichita right now. I mean, it's one of those things that at some point or another, it was going to become popular, part of the smoking brisket process anyways, and in cutting up the meat as well. So it was always sort of there, and it kind of just took off. But yeah, I thought it would have been in Texas, but it's Kansas. And then I think you go over to the Missouri side, and I believe there you have a little bit more emphasis on like ribs and beef as well. I'm not sure about the pork. The barbecue enthusiast can actually correct me on this. I don't know too much about the San Luis other than the ribs. I don't know too much about the San Luis style barbecue, but Texas is a little bit more dry rub. Big portions, big on brisket. Here, Kansas, it seems like there's a little bit of everything, and then the kings of pork are in North Carolina, maybe South Carolina too. Just the Carolinas. I personally am a Texas barbecue guy, not only because I used to live there, but I think that if you really have good barbecue, good smoke, good seasoning, you just don't need all the sauces, to be quite honest. I mean, it could be a nice addition, but I think sauces are mainly best eaten with pork products and some chicken products as well. Okay, pulled pork, not bad. Now this is the sirloin right here. This I've never had before. Okay. It's a drier cut, and somehow they make sure that the meat stays nice and juicy. It's also not the most tender part of the beef. That's why it's thinly sliced, but this is super tender, juicy, flavorful. Probably my favorite out of all the bunch, except the ribs. The ribs were freaking phenomenal. If I was still hungry, I would put this beef on those sliced breads. This is absolutely delicious. It'll make an excellent sandwich. And then finally, I'm gonna finish with the slaw here. Just your traditional slaw.